Singapore is on heightened alert for new COVID-19 infections. From Saturday, because of rising community cases, new measures will come into force to tighten social interactions. Included is the closure of indoor gyms and fitness studios. There'll also be stricter border controls in light of new infectious variants entering the country. Deborah Wong joins us live now for more. Deborah, what other community restrictions have been announced?
Well, in just a few days, Singapore will be tightening restrictions for 2 weeks from 8 to 30th May. Now, the size of gatherings allowed will be reduced from 8 to 5. Now, this will also apply to visitors per household too. In terms of workplaces, currently we have 75% allowed back into workplaces. Now, that will be scaled down to a 50% limit at any one time. As for crowd capacities for live events and funerals, those will be reduced as well. Now, sports events with mass spectator participation, on the other hand, that will be suspended. Where for places deemed to have higher risk, like indoor gyms and studios, those places will be closed. Now, it's important to note that this is not a circuit breaker, but the task force says Singapore is on heightened alert and is effectively bringing the country back to phase 2. It's also important to note that Trace Together Safe Entry will be implemented from 17 May instead of 1st June, as previously announced.
If new unlinked cases continue to pop up, new large clusters continue to emerge in the coming days and weeks, then certainly we will not hesitate to take even more stringent measures, even the possibility of having to enter another circuit breaker down the road.
There are also tougher border controls, Deb. What are we looking at?
Well, because we are seeing an increased number of variants coming to Singapore, so tougher border controls are definitely needed. Now, we're looking at stay-home notices extending to 21 days from 14 days for higher-risk areas such as Fiji and Vietnam. Travellers from the UK, South Africa, Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Now, these places, travellers from these places are currently required to serve a 21-day stay-home notice. But right now, they will be required to serve the full duration of their stay-home notice at dedicated SHN facilities. Now, the task force did explain that the extension is not a foolproof measure, but it will help to minimize the seepage of infections into the community. Now, let's hear what Mr. Wong has to say.
We cannot rely solely on border controls. We have to make use of other tools at our disposal: testing, tracing, safe management measures, and now vaccination. And if we do all of this well, then we can control the spread of the infection in our community. We don't quite know what these cases are, because there are two possibilities. Number one, they could have been infected within the community. Number two, it could be an older infection, and so they are intermittent shedders, right? And they were negative at the point of exit from SHN, but when they returned to their country, they tested positive because they are intermittent shedders, so less likely to be infectious.
Deborah Wong, thank you very much. Deborah there reporting with the latest on Singapore's multi-ministry task force briefing.